Chaos. That is what we could have this weekend. Welcome into the show, everybody. I have my game picks for the six pivotal conference championship games for you right now. If you are new here, go ahead and subscribe down below at Ian Fritts Show, and then follow at Ian Fritts Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as well. We've been on fire in the picks. We just had a 13-6 week in rivalry weekend. At one point, we had 10 games that we got right in a row. Just unbelievable way to finish the regular season. And I believe we're going to keep it going this weekend with the conference championship picks. Okay, so I have six conference championship games right there on your screen. North Texas at Tulane, Troy versus James Madison, BYU versus Texas Tech, Alabama versus Georgia, Indiana versus Ohio State, and Duke versus Virginia. These are the only ones I'm picking because these are the only ones in my mind with college football playoff implications. There is a scenario where UNLV versus a Boise State may, depending on what UNLV does, maybe the committee thinks UNLV is a better team than James Madison. We really don't know because neither of them have been ranked as of today. They may be ranked tomorrow night on a Tuesday night, but we do not know right now. So UNLV Boise State could have implications, but I don't think it will. So I put the six up there that most likely will. Okay, so chaos could happen, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to start down there with the Duke-Virginia game. That is where the chaos would come from, okay? If that blue D right there, if that blue Duke Blue Devils logo ends up winning the football game, if they end up beating Virginia, that is where the chaos happens. That is where the chaos happens because it would shut the door. Boom. That's the sound of a door shutting. Door shut. It would shut the door on the ACC. Most likely. But what happens if a Troy beats a James Madison? What happens if a Troy beats a James Madison? Does that open the door for a UNLV? It could. And then North Texas and Tulane, the winner of that game, most likely in the college football playoff game. If Tulane wins, they are in. They are the highest ranked G5 team in the committee's mind, so they're in the playoffs. If North Texas wins, that you would think they're in the playoffs. And then if James Madison wins, you would think if a Duke lost or if a Duke won, James Madison, coincidentally, the Dukes, they're in the playoffs. What a world we live in where we get two group of five teams in the college football playoff. Maybe it's a horrible world to live in, depending on how you look at it. Without further ado, we are going to jump into the picks. Here we go. North Texas, -2.5 at Tulane in the American Championship. Look, they play this game on the road. This is a road environment for North Texas. Eric Morris is going to Oklahoma State after the season, probably taking Drew Messamaker, quarterback for North Texas, there with him. John Summerall, he's out of there. He's going to Florida, but they are allowing him to coach Tulane throughout possibly the playoffs if they were to get there. Who's going to win this football game? I'm going to take North Texas -2.5. I picked them in my college football playoff predictions earlier in the weeks, and some people were like, no possibility of North Texas beating Tulane. It's not going to happen. No way it happens. They're favored. It's not crazy to think North Texas wins this football game. Now, not the favorite team doesn't always win. I understand that. But it's not crazy to think that North Texas pulls this out. And then we have Troy versus James Madison. Look, this is the easiest one in my book. It's James Madison. Now you're thinking, Ian, 22.5 is a lot of points. I don't care. I'm going to take James Madison -22.5 points. James Madison can score 24 and end up winning the football game and covering. That's how good that defense of the Dukies is, okay? BYU versus Texas Tech. BYU could also cause some chaos. They don't even need a Duke win to cause chaos. They could just win this game flat out and cause a lot of chaos because they could jump in Alabama. Do they jump a Notre Dame Fighting Irish? Do they jump the Oklahoma Sooners? Maybe even the Oregon Ducks? I don't know. Ole Miss without a head coach, offensive coordinator, offensive staff? If BYU were to win, who knows? It's not going to happen, folks. Give me Texas Tech -12.5. I don't care what the line is. Give me Texas Tech -1,000,000. They're going to win this football game unless the referees have something to say about it. Coincidentally, referees could come into play with that Duke-Virginia game as well. The referees could have paid Texas Tech. The conference could pay Texas Tech to lose this football game, so BYU gets in there as well. And now we have two Big 12 teams in the playoff. Alabama versus Georgia, SEC championship game, rematch of a game earlier on in the season. Alabama won it on Georgia's field. What do we think about this game, ladies and gentlemen? What do we think? Ty Simpson, he's going to beat Georgia twice in the same season? I don't see it happening. Give me Gunnar Stockton, to bounce back against this Alabama team, avenge his only loss of the season. Give me Georgia -2.5. Ohio State, Indiana, number 1 versus number 2 in the rankings, number 1 versus number 2 in the Heisman odds to win the Heisman Trophy this season. I don't think they should be 1 and 2, but that's besides me right now. That's besides me. Who's going to win this football game and who's going to cover? Because that's what this is about, making money. Give me Ohio State -5.5. And you're thinking, Ian, oh no, you've picked a favorite in all of these games. I know I have. And it's because I believe in the favorites. And the longer you go in the season, the more you tend to believe in the favorites because we know more about the football teams. So, do we think Duke is going to get it done and just cause just the college football world to go into complete chaos? Do we think that's going to happen? No, we don't. We're going to take Virginia in that defense -2.5. That defense is going to shock some people and show them how good they actually are. And they may give a team in the playoffs some fits in the first half. They may get figured out in the second half of the playoffs. But give me Virginia -2.5 to win the ACC. Never in a million years thought that sentence would come out of my mouth. Thank you so much for listening, watching, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and subscribe down below if you haven't, and then follow at Ian Fritts Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as well. I love you.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
25, 40, 45, 50, 45. There it goes.